फर्जंदे ज़हरा ये हालात बुरे हैं।
काशाना-ए-बसीरत एक ऐसा मुकम्मल यूट्यूब चैनल जिस पर महरूम बसारत के लिए बिलखुसूस और तमाम अफराद के लिए बिलमूम सैकड़ों की तादाद में इस्लामी कुतुब दस्तयाब हैं। लिहाजा गुजारिश है कि आप अपनी जिम्मेदारी निभाते हुए काशाना-ए-बसीरत को सब्सक्राइब करने के साथ साथ बेल आइकॉन को प्रेस कीजिए ताकि आप इल्म के हुसूल के साथ साथ मजहब अहले बैत की इशाअत में भी अहम किरदार अदा करते रहें। काशाना-ए-बसीरत
फर्जंदे ज़हरा ये हालात बुरे हैं।
Part 6, page number 58, Objections of Ibn Bashr. Abdul Hassan bin Ahmad bin Bashr has issued statement against occultation, and Abu Jafar Muhammad bin Abu Rahman bin Qurayba Razi has refuted them. Among Ali bin Ahmad bin Bashr's statement regarding our belief in occultation is that he writes in his book, I say that which all the people of falsehood claim, and they remain attached to it and are firm upon it, they are needless of proving his existence because he is himself present and his presence is proved. And these people, that is our companions, are in need of the fact that the people of falsehood are needless of for whom I am compelled to prove the obligation of obedience. Thus they are needful of that from whom which all the people of falsehood are needless, and they have differed in another particular matter, due to which they move closer to falsehood. And in this way they became more debased in comparison to other people of falsehood, because excess of falsehood brings decadence, and more truthfulness bestows exaltation, and all praise is for Allah, the Lord of the worlds. Then he said, and I will make such a statement in which you will find more justice from my side, though it is not obligatory upon us. I say it is absolutely clear, and it is known that it is not necessary for every plaintiff and defendant to be on the right, and all those who demand from the claimant to prove the veracity of his claim are equitable. And this group has claimed that they are having a personality whose imamat is proved to them clearly, and people are obliged to submit to him and obey him. And we accept the claim of this group and agree that we are wrong, although it is very much impossible, but on the condition that they show to us the existence and person of the one whose imamat they claim. In that case, we would not even insist on them to prove their claim. Thus, if in our statement there is something more than justice, we have fulfilled our promise. Thus, if they are able to fulfill our demand, they would have disproved our statement, and if they fail to do so, it would clearly prove that we have stated about it, that they are more helpless to prove their claim than all other who fail to prove their claims. And these people are distinguished among us all kind of false ones, due to which they became the lowliest among the people of falsehood, because previously all the claimants of falsehood had the right to show the existence of what which they were claiming, while these people are helpless in the matter in which the people of falsehood are competent, except that we turn to what they say. The point is that through anything, the proof Hujjat of Allah, the mighty and sublime, becomes obligatory. Its existence is obligatory. Yes, its presence is more necessary than its mere existence. So, in addition to making claim about it, you must also show us his existence. And I was informed regarding Abu Jafar bin Abu Hanim, who said in reply to the question, now would you prove your claim that the existence of a person from this family is necessary? He said to him, Abu Jafar, I told them it's Jafar. What a strange thing. This person is trying to refute people through something from which he himself not absolved. An elderly man lived in that area. He used to say, I call them La Vadaya. He means to imply that they do not have any refuge or firm base, except that they may be forced to say that the existence of him is necessary, although he does not exist at all. Thus, he has named them as such, and we also call them same. Those people are different from all groups who bow down before someone due to helplessness. Among the idol worshippers, there is a group called Buddhist. They also bowed before something that had existence even though they were people of falsehood. While these people became related to non-entity, which is an absolutely non-existent and is completely false, and they really deserve to be called La Badaya. That is, they are helpless to bow before it, because anyone they is obeyed is in fact a deity. In this way, our stand becomes clear that these people are peculiar with a particular type of falsehood from all types, due to which they are baser. Praise be to Allah. Then he say, we end the book on the statement that our debate is with one who before this was in agreement with us that it is necessary that there should be an imam from this family, in bracket is Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, through whom the proof of Allah becomes obligatory on us, and through whom the poverty and hunger of the people ends, and those who are not in agreement with us in this matter are absolved from seeing our book, even though we may demand him. And we say to all those who are in agreement with us regarding this matter and who before us are inclined to reach an agreement on the point that not a room of any house is without it in which there is light. Then we entered that house and, except for one room, did not find any other. On the basis of this, it became necessary, and it was proof that there was a lamp in that house. And praise be to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. Abu Jafar Muhammad bin Abdul Rahman bin Quba Razi has replied to this. He said, and tawfiq is from Allah. To practice excess in claim and to make allegation against the opponent is not among those things that prove a matter, and if it had been like this, it would have ended the conflict between the warring sides, and each party would have remained content by relying on one's own opinion about one's opponent. While the fact is that conflict, the difference of opinion among the people became the basis of debates and discussions, and observing justice is that the best characteristic that the people of religion adopt, and the statement of Abdul Hassan is neither a refuge to which we refer, nor it is a valid statement towards which we may be inclined, nor it is a document of evidence and pillar due to which we may accept his statement to be a proof and take resort to it, because this claim of his is devoid of proof and evidence. And when a claim is lacking proof and evidence, it is not acceptable to intelligent and sensible people. And we do not find ourselves incapable to that. Yes, by the grace of Allah, we have personality to whom we refer to and whose directions we follow, whose being the divine proof has been proved, and arguments supporting this have become clear. If they say, tell us where he is, we will reply, how do you want us to show him to you? Do you want us to order to ride a horse and come to you and present himself to you? Or you are demanding that we construct a house for him to move there and then inform all the people of the East and the West about it? If you want this, we are not capable of it, neither it is obligatory for him to do this. And if you say, then how do you consider his proof necessary on us and declare his imamate to be obligatory on us? We shall say, we admit that it is necessary that there should be a man from the children of Abdul Hassan bin Muhammad Askari alayhi salam, through whom the proof of Allah may become obligatory on us. We have guided you towards him so that if you are inclined to justice, and the very first thing that is obligatory on us is that we should not go beyond that which is agreed upon by thinking people, and that which they have put into practice, and it is their belief, and whosoever opposes it has abandoned the attitude of scholars. In bracket is written ulema. And also, we are not talking about a branch and secondary matter whose root is not firm, and the personality whose existence you deny is proved after his father, and you are the group who has no dispute with us regarding his father. Thus, it is meaningless that you leave of contemplation about the right of imamat of his father. Therefore, if the right is proved for his father, in that case, according to your own admission, it would have been proved, and if no right is proved for his father, the matter turns to your statement, and we would not be on falsehood. And it is certain that there is increase in the strength of truth, and falsehood goes on weakening, even though the people of falsehood may present in a nice way. The proof of the validity of the matter of his father, that we have consensus that it is necessary that there must be a son of Abul Hassan alayhi salam, through which the divine proof may be established and no excuse remain for the people, and this man will necessarily be the divine proof on every Muslim, even though he may be far away from them, just as it is necessary for one who has been him and met him. And we and most of the people are such that proof has become obvious for us without meeting him. So we shall have to ponder that what is the cause and proof due to which the proof has become incumbent on us. And then we shall have to see that apart from those two sons of Abdul Hassan, Imam Ali Naqi, except whom there is no successor, who else is eligible for it? Thus, whichever of them will be superior will be the proof and the Imam, and there is no need of prolong the matter. Then we shall think upon it on the basis of which evidence and cause does the proof become necessary on those who are away from the Prophet and the Imams. Hence, its necessity is proved from the established traditional reports that prove the necessity of divine proof, and the number of conditions of those reports that those who have related it and absolved from convenience on falsehood. And in and it exonerates them from the allegation that they have fabricated it. When we do further research, we find that the narrators themselves are two groups. One of them was under the impression that previous Imam has mentioned Nas from Hassan Askari alayhi salam, that he pointed him out, made bequest about him, and also mentioned some arguments due to the fact that he was the elder son. He also mentioned some signs, and we saw that the other group is saying the same things about Jafar. Now, when we find that those who relate traditions about Jafar are very few in number. And it is possible to say regarding a small group and few numbers that they can to fabricate traditions. They reached consensus about it and informed each other through correspondence. So the traditions related by them fell in the circle of doubt and did not reach to the level of evidence. And the divine proof are not proved through suspicions. When we glanced on the traditions of other faction, we found that there were many groups who were separate from each other in different places. Their aims are different, their views and opinions are diverse, and it is not possible for them to fabricate lies because they are far away from each other, and neither they have consensus of opinion, nor they keep in touch with each other through correspondence, nor do they gather at one place to fabricate traditions. Thus, it shows the traditions related by them are correct, and it is these people who are on the right. Because if we reject traditions narrated by them along with their qualities mentioned above, no report narrated on the earth can be correct. So think upon it. May Allah bestow you with good sense. So you see, from these two groups, the one you shall find to be on the right is the one that we have indicated. And the tendency of rejecting traditions is harmful for Islam while considering narrations to be correct will prove that our report is correct. And the evidence of correctness of our statement is present in this. And the praise to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. And then you saw that they themselves have a dispute that on what basis the imamat of Jafar becomes obligatory. Thus, of their groups, that he is the imam after his brother Muhammad, and the other group says that he is the imam after his brother Hassan al-Askari. And we witness that each of those groups is resolute on its stand, whereas we have seen their predecessors and our elders narrating the traditions even before the occurrence of this event and prove that imamat of Hassan al-Askari alayhi salam, and it is the one quoted from Imam Abu Abdullah Imam Sadiq that he said, when three names, that is Muhammad, Ali, and Hassan, come after one another, the fourth shall be the Qaim, and this among the traditional reports that prove the imamat of Imam Hassan al-Askari alayhi salam, and except for Imam Hassan Askari and Jafar, there is no third person. Thus, if during the lifetime of Imam Hassan Askari alayhi salam, the proof is not established for Jafar on those who have seen him, while the Imam is one of whom is established the proof on those who have seen him and on those who have not seen him. So it is learned that Imamat is proved for Hassan al-Askari. Thus, when Imamat has been proved for Hassan al-Askari alayhi salam, and in your view Jafar is one against whom aloofness is expressed, and Imam never expressed aloofness and immunity from another Imam. Now Hassan al-Askari alayhi salam has passed away. So on the basis of this, it is agreed between you and us that it is necessary that there should be a man from the children of Hassan al-Askari alayhi salam, though through whom the divine proof may be established. Thus, on the basis of this, it is proved that there is a son of Hassan al-Askari alayhi salam who is the Qaim. I say, O Aba Jafar, may Allah make you successful. Abdul Hassan Aghrala says that Muhammad bin Abdul Rahman says that one whom we have raised the claim of, we have presented his existence to you. So, where will you turn? Do you admit being on the wrong as you have promised us, or or your selfish desire is preventing you from this? In that case, you will be the implication of the statement of Allah Almighty. Translation is, and most surely many would lead astray they by their low desires out of ignorance. 60, it's ayah number 65. It is very odd to name righteous people to be la badaya on the basis of this statement that it is or necessary that there should be someone through whom the divine proof may become necessary. Does Abdul Hassan not himself say that his existence is necessary and la badaya through whom the divine proof may become necessary, and why he should not have said it is while he has mentioned it narrating through us? Yes, his presence is la badaya and necessary. What to say about his existence? Thus, if he admits this, he and his companions are also from La Vadaya, and in that case, he has given himself this title and revealed the deficiency of his co-religionists. And if he does not admit this, no need remains to reply to the example he has given about the light in the room of house. And this same bad conditions afflicts all those who harbor enmity with the divine saints. They end up making statement against themselves while they are under the impression that they are speaking against their opponents. And all the praise is for Allah who support truth through his proof and signs. And we call these people Badaya because they are the slaves of bad. They are bowing in front of one who neither hears nor sees anything, and he does not make them needless of anything. And same is the condition of these people. And we say, O Abdul Hassan, may Allah guide you. This one in brackets is written Imam Zaman is the proof of Allah, one men and jinns, and whose being the proof of Allah on the creatures will not be proved except through the statements of the Messenger of Allah, Subhanahu Ta'ala. He had concealed himself in the cave in such a way that except for 5 persons, all those may not come to know about it on whom the Allah Almighty established his proof through him. If you raise the objection that this calculation is after the advent and it is after that there is a successor for him on his bed, we shall reply that we are not proving the veracity of our claim through the fact of his advent or his appointing a successor for one who does not know what he is saying. Rather, we say that does his being the proof not get established during the time he is in oculation on the one who, due to the same reason, does not know his whereabouts? Here you will have to reply in proofs. So we shall say that we also prove that the Imam is the proof of Allah, even though he may be in occultation due to some reason. But what is the difference between the two? And this Imam also did not go in occultation till his father and forefathers did not repeatedly emphasize on their followers that occultation was imminent, and they told their supporters how they should conduct themselves during this occulation and what type of deeds they must perform. Thus, if you speak about his birth, we shall ask you to take into consideration the birth of Prophet Musa alayhi salam. In spite of fierce steps Pharaoh had taken to search for him and what he all did with the women and children, he survived till the Almighty Allah permitted him to reveal himself. And Imam Raza alayhi salam said in his description, thus, may my parents be sacrificed on him. He resembles me and has the name as that of my venerable grandfather, and he is also similar to Prophet Musa alayhi salam. We present another argument. O Abdul Hassan, do you admit that Shias have narrated traditions about occultation? If he says no, we shall present those traditions to him. If he says yes, we shall ask him what would be the condition of people when their Imam is in occultation, and how proof will be established on them during the occultation. If he says in that case the Imam will appoint someone as his representative, we will say that it is agreed between us that only an Imam can be the representative of the Imam. Thus, when the representative is also an Imam, occultation is meaningless. And apart from this, if he presents some argument for this occulation, it would be just like a proof and argument, and there would be no difference in it. An argument which exposes the defect of Jafar matter is his cooperation with Faris bin Hatim. May Allah curse him, and considering him pure, whereas his own father had renounced him. This information spread in the town, and even his opponents became aware of this matter. What do you say of the friends? Among the arguments against him in his seeking help from the people to obtain inheritance from the mother of Imam Hassan Askari alayhi salam, whereas there is a consensus among the Shias that his forefathers had an enmity on the point that when the mother is alive, the brother has no right to get inheritance. And among the arguments that expose the shortcomings of this matter is his claim that he was an Imam after his brother Muhammad. If only we could know how Imamat of his brother is proved when we had died during the lifetime of his venerable father. So, how can we prove the Imamat of the Caliph of this person? And how odd that Muhammad should appoint his successor an Imam after him, while his father is yet alive and established. And if he himself is the proof of Allah and the Imam, what is the role of his father? And since when such type of narrational reports have gained currency among the Imams of their descendants, that we should not that we should obliged to accept your claim. So please tell us on what basis is the Imamat of Muhammad proved so that the Imamat of his successor may also proved for us. And praise is for Almighty Allah who made the truth strong and falsehood weak. And whatever is narrated from Ibn Abi Ghanim, may Allah have mercy on him, his statements do not prove the Imamat of Jafar in our view. He only meant to say that the people of his family have not died, that we cannot find a person from them. However, as for his saying that all those who are obeying are deities, it is very serious mistake because we do not regard anyone as a deity except for the Allah Almighty, whereas we obey the Messenger of Allah but do not worship him. But he says, we end this book on the statement that we argue with and we address those who are agree with us that the existence of one person from his family is necessary through whom the proof of Allah may become obligatory. And it is also correct that there is only one lamp in his room, and there is no need for us to enter it. May Allah give you good sense. We do not oppose that this is necessary that there must be a standing imam from his family so that the proof of Allah becomes obligatory through him. Rather, our objection and our opposition is regarding the manner in which that imam will be established and how he would reappear and how he would disappear. All the example he gave about the room and the light was only a failed hope, and it is said that hope and aspiration is the property of the destitute. Now we present an example based on facts, in which neither shall we pressurize any of our opponents, nor be unreasonable to any of the enemies. Rather, our aim in this shall be only to reach the truth. Therefore, we say that we and our opponents are unanimous on the point that so and so died, leaving behind two sons, and he had only one house. Now, just suppose that the one who is eligible to inherit the house would be the one who can lift 1,000 rattle weight with one hand, and that the house shall remain in possession of only his descendants who can lift this weight. And suppose that we also know that one of them would be capable of lifting the weight and other would not be able to. Then we needed to know which of the two lifted the weight. To find out this, we moved to their place, but someone hindered us from seeing the two of them. But we saw the huge group of people living in various of places, and they testified that the elder of the two sons lifted the weight. On the other hand, we saw a small group of people who had gathered at one place and they began to testify that the younger son performed that task. In addition to this, the said group did not have any other particular argument to support their condition. In these circumstances, reason dictates as such, and the normal course of action that is proved through experience is that we do not reject the testimony of the larger group and accept the claims of the smaller batch. Moreover, the smaller group will be blamed to have four lies, and the bigger group would be clear of his blame. If our opponents ask our opinion regarding the testimony of Suleiman, Abu Zar, Ammar, and Miqdad in favor of Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam, on one hand, and the testimony of the large number of people in the favor of another person, which of two were true? We shall say that Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam and his companions, in comparison to their opponents, were possessing some special characteristics, and those merits were peculiar to them only. If you can prove that they also have those characteristics, we should admit that you are true to your claim. The first point is that even his enemies admitted his superiority, purity, and knowledge. It is mentioned in the traditions of the Prophet that he said, "The Allah Almighty love those who love him." In brackets is written Ali, and he is inimical to those who are inimical to him. On the basis of this, it is not allowed to follow anyone except him. And the second spelity is that his enemies did not claim the Holy Prophet has specified the other person to be Imam or made his proof on the people. Instead, as you also know, those people selected him for themselves on the justification that they were empowered to do so. And the third speciality is that his enemies used to testify regarding a companion of Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam that he never lied because the Prophet had himself said, "There is no one between the sky and the earth more truthful than Abu Zar." On the basis of this, the testimony of Abu Zar alone is where than all of those people put together. The fourth speciality is that his enemies have narrated the name traditions that their friends have and through which the proof is established, but they have turned away from it due to wrong interpretation. And the fifth speciality is that his enemies have narrated the tradition that Hassan and Hussain alayhi salam are the chiefs of the youths of paradise, and also quoted that he said, "One who knowingly fabricates my sayings makes hellfire his abode." Thus, when these two testified in favor of their venerable father and It is also true that according to the testimony of the Holy Prophet, they are folks of paradise. To consider them truthful became obligatory, because if they are non-truthful in this, they shall not be among the folks of paradise, and instead shall be folks of hell, and those who, two personalities are purified from this. They are pure and truthful. Now, the followers of Jafar Kazab should mention some of his specialities, that they are not present in their opponent so that their claims may be accepted. Without this, it is meaningless to reject a widely narrated traditions, in bracket is written mutawatir, which is free of any defect in both the text and reporters. Neither is it worth accepting a traditions whose narrators are not free from the accusation of having conveyed on falsehood, whereas they do not even have any such speciality through which their claim could be proved. And such an action is committed only by a confused and deviated person. So please think upon it. May Allah give you righteousness. Whatever I have written about you and regarding which an intelligent person ponders about his religion, he thinks upon the judgment day, fearing the consequences of infidelity and denial. Be suitable, inshallah. May the Allah Almighty give you a long life and bestow you strength and support, and may He make you steadfast, make you righteous, and may He guide you towards Himself. May He not make you of those who efforts in the world and wasted, while they were under the impression that it was good. And may He also not make you of those whom the shaitan deviates through deceit and fraud. And some imamats have written imamites have written a letter to Abu Jafar bin, in which they ask him a few questions. He replied as follows: but your statement, may Allah support you, which you are narrating from the Mutazila, that they think that the Imamites are under the impression that Nas about an Imam is necessary from the logical point of view. There are two possibilities in this. If they take it to be logically obligatory before the arrival of the prophets and religious codes of law, it is wrong. But if they take that human intellect guides to the fact that after the arrival of the prophets there is a necessity of Imam, they came to know through faith and logical arguments that they have understood through the traditions narrated from his personality in those imamat they believe. And the statement of Mutazilas that we came to know what certainty that Hassan bin Ali alayhi salam passed away without stating the nas of imamat in favor of any person. So this statement is a claim that shall be opposed, and they shall be needful. They must prove the veracity of their claim. What is that point which gives the precedence in their claim from their opponents, that they have certainty in something which exactly opposed to their claim?